Hello everyone and welcome back to Fableheimr and MISTOVER. Yes, it's been a little bit of a break, but we have returned to the Shenanigans playthrough in MISTOVER. If you're here from Total War, hello, don't be scared. MISTOVER is a grim, dark dungeon crawler, JRPG, made by a South Korean company, so go figure how that works, I have no idea. But, I love this game. It's good fun. And the reason, I've been meaning to come back and beat it for a while. But, you know, playing Liu Hong's is so much fun. But the reason why I have chosen today to come back at long last is because we have a patch. Isn't that grand? We have a patch coming up soon. The expected release date... What am I hitting here? You? Sure. The expected release date is the second week of February, which at the time of this recording is a week from now. Ish. But yeah, so I'm going to talk about the patch. Everything that they're saying is coming forward, even though some of it's a little vague, which is nothing unusual. We're used to it. Prepared. We're ready. I think I'm just going to put Last Prayer on Rune because I'm scared. We don't actually have a quest for this area. I did accept the next quest, which I think is the last quest I was working on. I knew she was going to get hit. I was working on in the hard playthrough. So soon, everyone shall be greeted by the lovely... I think I have to hit him anyway. By the lovely Stella, as we continue on with the main storyline. But for today, we are just in this zone. This is the second zone of the Frozen Mountains, so a new zone for us. But we are here simply for an armor piece. There is an epic armor awaiting us at the end of this journey for Hisi. And because even though Hisi isn't a main combatant, Hisi provides a lot of buffs for us. And it would be pretty sad to see him go. So we're going to do everything we can to prevent that by giving him Puppet Farmer. But anyway, enough of the babbling. Let's get on to the details, shall we? This is a small map, by the way. And because it's our first time here, I was really scared. So I brought a few materials. But okay, moving on. This upcoming update, a week-ish from now, is focusing on two things, they said. Thing number one... Oops. That was unintentional. Thing number one is gameplay settings. And when I read this, I was very surprised. Very, very surprised. Is this a breakable thing? No. And basically what it means is they want you, the player, to be able to edit a bit of MISTOVER's difficulty. And what I mean by that is they will be offering you the choice to edit, to turn on and off various mechanics. For example, the examples they gave were the Doomsday Clock, revealing the map, and controlling an assortment of abnormal statuses or movements. Now, this is something that is usually added to games as kind of like a special cheap-ish DLC pack, where like, oh, go ahead and make the game how you want to make it, have fun. So the fact that it's coming in a free update actually really surprised me. Which is good, that's good news. Don't mistake it. It's good news. But their second bullet point on this category kind of made me raise an eyebrow. And that is that they're adding a new mechanic called the difficulty score. And this will be a new UI element on the top left corner of the screen during expeditions and during battles that roughly estimates how difficult the current expedition or battle is. Because what they said was because even though there are difficulties you select at the beginning, like easy, normal, or hard, we're on normal by the way, the changes that you make in the editing process might make the game easier or harder. And when I was reading that description, it was vague again, but when I was reading it, the first thing that popped into my mind was are they going to add new mechanics for us to, like, turn on or something? So, for example, in Dragon Age Inquisition, when you're selecting the difficulty, there's like a flat difficulty, like hard mode or nightmare or whatever. But then there are challenges that you can select that will obviously increase the difficulty of the video game. Now, in Inquisition, you get rewards for that, but I wouldn't really expect more rewards in MISTOVER. It would still just be cool if they did that. So hopefully, that's just me hoping. But anyway, it's still really cool to be able to edit the difficulties of the game. There are a lot of, shall we say, inconveniences. Also, didn't I already pick up a golden key? Or am I really just not paying attention? Well, there's the golden key. So for example, if you really just hate the Doomsday Clock, that's actually funny. I didn't think about that. Would you be able to just turn off the Doomsday Clock like mid-campaign? Like, so for example, say you're in my position. Even though I wasn't recording episodes for MISTOVER, I was still logging in every so often and playing on my own. I did like four-ish runs, I think, myself. Just to, farm and level up a little bit. So we're now level 14, by the way. But would you be able to just turn it off so that you... Oh, you moved the worst person. Just turn it off mid-campaign. So you're like, well, I can farm forever now because I'm not incurring Doomsday penalties. A thought. Or would it be one of those things that's like, at the beginning of the campaign, you have to decide, alright, for this campaign, I don't want a Doomsday Clock. I'm not sure. Again, they're usually pretty vague. Hopefully the real patch notes will give a bit more examples. And speaking of vagueness... I know, it's a great way to continue, huh? The next thing that they're focusing on is battle improvements. Yes, increasing the combat, which is always welcome. But the vague part for this is that they mentioned that they would like to add additional effects to abilities that aren't used very frequently. And they provided us with two examples. The first example was the Paladins Provoke. This is a buff that the Paladin casts on herself and makes enemies mad at her. So they attack her for 3 turns. Either 3 turns or until she takes 3 hits. I remember that change. Pepperidge Farm remembers, and it doesn't like it. But it is the reality of the situation. So that will also be getting a speed buff, so that you can act faster after you taunt. That's fine. I still don't know if it's good. I mean, if you compare it to... Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. If you compare it to the Ronin, who can deal absurd amounts of damage and taunt himself at the same time, it doesn't seem very good. But, meh. Also, I have an alarm going off that I don't remember setting. Oh well. What's the most threatening here? Probably the Elder, right? I think so. Should I just make sure I kill it? Or do I try and leave it to Rune? See if we can get 2 birds, one stone. Ultimate Greed. Boom. Pays off. Greed is good. So I'm looking forward to more of those changes being revealed as far as updates are concerned. Oh, there's one more. I always talked about the Paladin. The other one is the Ronin. The Ronin's buff swallow counter gives him damage reflection right now. So you have to damage reflect yourself and then taunt to make it most effective. But they are adding a taunt mechanic onto Swallow's counter, which is hilarious when you think about the fact that Ronins will then have 3 taunting mechanics. The Bloodthirsty Sword, the whatever their buff is, and now Swallow's counter. They're probably going to have to change their other buff, huh? Because it's probably just useless now, right? Like, why would you ever press that buff when you can damage, reflect, and taunt? But again, looking forward to seeing how they change those things up. There are a lot of abilities in the game that I just completely ignore. I've completely forgotten about their existence. So looking forward to seeing a few more abilities added into the useful roster. But then the final change that they talked about was actually something to do with formations. It would have been really convenient if I talked about it last combat, because there were a ton of enemies in the third column. But you know what? Better late than never. And that is that enemies in the third column are slightly more difficult to deal with, especially depending on your group composition. Ours is pretty good at it. But it encourages you to bring ranged people, or people that have ranged. And I guess they don't like that too much. So what they're going to do is they're going to make it so that... I agree with the first part of this, which is in the beginning of the game, in the first dungeon, there will not be any enemies that spawn in the final column, the third and final column. Which I think is fine. Because early on, you're struggling to do anything and everything. So, that's fine. But the second change, which I'm still up in the fence about, is... What is my stun chance here? Very low. Is that... This could be really bad. Okay, we're fine. Is that in every dungeon after the first one, it will be less likely that enemies spawn in the third column. Now, the reason why I'm kind of on the fence about this is not because I don't think it's useful. What am I doing here? Not that I don't think it's going to make things a little easier. It's that being able to reach enemies in the third column is kind of like a strategy choice. You know, you have to consciously make a decision to build your group composition like, hey, will we be able to reach all enemies? Is this okay? Should we change it? Like, our group composition right now... Our group composition with specifically Dora, our werewolf, we brought one ability specifically because it can reach the backline. That's it. That's its purpose. And that's Strike. And with Rune here, we pretty much just like star bullet things in the backline. Although if you haven't noticed, we also just spam our cooperative ability. Yeah. That's kind of the strategy here. Spam the cooperative ability and never die. It's beautiful. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear the tornado sirens. Don't worry, there's no tornado, thankfully. But every Tuesday of the month, they go around and, you know, test them. First Tuesday of the month. And I guess that's today. Surprise to me, too, I know. So those are all the changes coming in the February patch. Here's the exit. In the patch next week, February 2020. Thank you for exploring my map that I accidentally forgot earlier. It's real great. I guess we're just going to be leaving here in a moment. Because we're in the second zone, I was very afraid. Oh, this is a mimic. But it looks like I was afraid for no reason. I just had to keep my head held high and be confident. Those little penguin things are annoying. I know it's hard to see how that's a penguin, but trust me, it's a penguin. It's an evil, mutated penguin. That is vile. Am I? Yeah, I'm just removing bleed here. Remove the bleed. There's one... As far as abilities that could use additional utility, there's a sister ability that... I probably aren't going to change it, though. It taunts an entire column, and then whenever someone in that column gets hit, they recover some of the damage they took as mana. So it's not actually a defensive ability, it's just a way to infinitely generate mana. I'm wondering if they'll change that a little bit. Isn't that masochistic pleasure? I think that's what it's called. Hey! Yes! Mountain Spiked Knuckles. Ooh. Ooh. What's our current thing for Dora? Oh yeah. That's an upgrade. Dara is one of our powerhouses, so any upgrade we get for Dara, I'm gonna take. I think I got him a thingy too. Oh no, that's a civic one. When I was let me recover our light here. When I was farming, some of the item options were, ooh, they were bad. Real bad. A lot of accessories still. So here we are. This mountain grave robe is going to be sacrificed to the great god, so just kind of ignore that. But the mountain half-demon garb, this is the better of the Omyoji equipment. So everything has like a good and a bad version. I don't know why, but oh well. More RNG. So this is a huge, huge upgrade. Pretty sure he's using like a civic. Yeah, he's using a civic. Yeah, it's, just trust me, Monumentous. And we saw that, for some reason, the enemies have a fascination with attacking Hisi. So, beautiful. Here's the levels. You didn't miss much. But Rune, Dara, Masabune, and Hisi are all rank 15. Beautiful. So we're just going to gain too much of stats, because remember, they've changed how jinxes work. So that was lovely. What up, Shylock? So, I think I encountered this while I was running, but I'm not... Yeah. So this is just an empty dialogue to remind you, like, hey, you have a quest line to do. But basically, he asks if we're curious about many things, and then, this is like a DLC open-ended thing, where I can tell you anything as long as I have it in my records. Of course, if we find more records, I can give you even more information. I think that's mostly just a hint for, like, keep doing the questline, but that kind of open-ended thing, I think, is also a hint into how DLC is going to happen. Like, we find more archives or more things, and Shylock leads us to it. A magical wonderland. You know? Definitely. Okay, so we actually have some... Oh. Oh. We got the Kusanagi, too? I was not even paying attention. So first things first, give me this. Thank you. So we're currently using this Civic Kusanagi with Masamune. Oh, also I got this. And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Speed and hit are amazing tertiary stats. Like, I could not ask for something better. I mean, defense would be cool, but I don't even know if it can roll defense. So this Kusanagi is a damage upgrade all around. We would just lose 4 speed, which I'm less worried about now that we got this armor, and 145 hit points, which, as our tank, a little concerning. But we can always, like, we aren't running the most defensive thing in the world here. I also got a mountain power, but where is it? Yeah, I got a mountain power. Its base is 18 to 18. Ridiculous. The problem with this one, though, is usually the powers, their negative stat is either crit or speed. And if it's speed, which... Oh, it can be hit too. Okay. It's a great hit speed. I wonder if it can be anything else. Anyway, if it's crit or hit, the problem is that when you try and fuse a weapon into it, you can roll the hit or crit, which is not what you want. So if we took... I got something beautiful that I'm not using, so it's going to be sacrificed somehow, some way. But let's take a look at this mountain power real quick. So if I wanted to increase the power of this mountain power, we have a 50-50 to roll attack, which is what we want. But we could also roll crit, which is what we don't want. Especially when you look at something like this. A Mountain Damascus chain. 11 to 14 attack. Or 4 crit. My heart would be broken if I rolled crit on this. So, I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to do. We could sit around and wait for a divine... I mean... If we're really talking, we could take this and pump it up with attack. That, I mean, is an option. A scary option. We could also use this one. It just sucks that it's tertiary as silent speciality. But at the end of the day, do we care? We just want this for attack. We don't care about its tertiary stats in the slightest. Not even a little bit. If you have a thought on that, you can let me know. I'm really scared to touch any of the infusions now right now. But anyway, let's go evaluate our new stuff. Take a look at this. 5 speed and bleeding resist. For our Onmyoji that does nothing but want to go first and throw talismans at people, beautiful. It's gorgeous. I knew you guys were good luck. Alright, let's take a look at this Mountain Kusanagi. Guard. Okay. It's not good, but it's not bad. Because as our tank, Masamune will probably be guarding a little bit. So as is tradition, Masamune, excuse me, have your Kusanagi. The only unfortunate bit is we're losing him some health, but meh. So as is tradition, the new weapon shall consume the old. Praise be to RNGesus. I told you, you guys are good luck. Oh, we have another one too. How can I forget? I already equipped it though, right? Yeah. Okay. Not evaluate. We want to fuse this with this. This is not very good. Do I want to do this? It's tradition. It's tradition, but... fine, for tradition's sake. Because the weapon is only common, it only has 3 possible fusions. We got hit rating, which isn't bad. The werewolf hits incredibly hard, but they kind of control his power by... Is this any good? By reducing his hit rate. So additional hit on the werewolf, beautiful. Hit on the Ronin is also amazing, just because if the Ronin misses, you don't get any ki back, and that makes you sad. Makes you cry. Alright. That's basically everything that I have to say, I guess. Shall we consume the old armor as well? Sure, why not? As is tradition. As tradition demands. Oh. Team, can you just be here with me all the time? Just grant me all of your power. All of your blessings from RNGesus. I'll take them all. Leave nothing out. Actually, we also have rank 5 now with Star Striker. This is what I was trying to do. I'm sorry. We could equip this. Give speed. I wanted to sacrifice this to the great gods, but... I mean... if he has to throw a talisman at something, this would help. And more speed is good. I'll equip it. Just because I really like Hisi. You know, it's nice to see everyone wearing purple. It just is. We're going to complete the tradition and... well, it was Civic, right? Yeah, it was this. Complete the tradition and call it a day. Next time, we move on to the quest. I'll take Evade. Evade's good. I'm actually... my inventory is actually full. Like, beyond full. How do I see that? I sell it, right? Yeah, I'm at 333. Oh. Half of 666. Is this good or bad? I'm at 333 out of 270, so... actually, Olivia, my fellow bespectacled adventurer. More luminosity, thank you. We still have not upgraded the expand recruitment or the increased experience acquisition. This is so we can do more farming and to min-max our characters that we recruit from rank 1. So the AI hasn't spent any of their talents. Oh. We're very unlucky with the inventory books, huh? Oh well. Perhaps I'll pray to RNGesus about that next time. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. MISTOVER is back. I'm still going to prioritize finishing up the Liu Hong campaign, but we will soon see the end of this game, I promise. At long last, we're going to get there. I can feel it in my bones.